I hear a lot of times people saying, well, I'm only going to help people if they're doing the things that I think they should be doing. It's like, yeah, because God helps those who help themselves. Is that even in the Bible? And, well, if they are on the right track, then we can be helping them. If they're basically, there's a lot of parameters to your help. It's like, okay, we will help. Jesus commanded us to help the poor, so we're going to help the poor, but under these conditions. We're helping the poor based on our own understandings. We're going to judge people based on the outside of what they look like to us, and then we're going to judge ourselves whether or not they deserve the help we're giving. And Jesus says, help the poor. He doesn't say, do all this stuff. I mean, I get it. There's only so many resources. You have to judge who, will take these resources and not just waste them. I get it. But, sometimes our judging goes a little too far. And sometimes we just need to understand people and hear people and see where they're coming from, more than just throwing a bunch of money at them anyway, because you can't serve God at mammon. And helping the poor, I would say, would rarely look like throwing money at programs that help the poor. I think we need to be actually just helping the poor. Just actually looking around and giving our brother a hand, in his day. Just literally, that which you do to the least of these, my brethren, you do to me also. It's your doings, right? It's not just how much money you give. It's what you do with your time. And you spend all your time. I mean, money is an efficient way of doing good. It's like, well, my $200 can do a lot more good for that person than me weeding their garden. Because you can get a lot of resources and stuff. Money's a really good, efficient way of trading resources, very efficient. But again, do we want a society of cold efficiency, or do we want the human side? And I think that's another testament to how we are a little bit more than just machines, and just the cosmic machines, organic machines, orgasmo. Here we are. I think just the idea that we would desire anything but efficiency is kind of an indication of love, and what love actually is. What is love? What is the whole point of all this? If love is just a construct, is just something that my body does, why wouldn't I seek after it anyway? It's definitely a really good feeling. It's a good thing. Seems like society would work better if everyone were acting in love too. So it seems like there's something there. So it could be a society, a survival instinct. I just don't think that the person's typical survival instinct, it's just so against what the typical survival instinct would be. And maybe that's why we have such crappy bodies, with survival instincts that make us do cruel and wicked things, because we need to see the contrast. We need to see our spirits are in control. There's something there. It's not just this dead machine that just spirals around in this dead universe of just things doing things. We're a different thing. We're conscious, and we're something here, and something different than just chain reactions. I think choice is a testament that we are more than a chain reaction, and we can actually create a chain reaction. We can just think about things. You can choose to think, or you can choose to not think. And I think there's a level of well, how much choice am I really doing? And I think that's if we can see we're following the body. If we're just following the body's way, we're not really making a choice. It's just carnality. But anything different than carnality, I think, would indicate to our souls that we are doing something different, besides just following along the body's natural plan of action. It's my natural plan of action would probably be dead in a ditch, high on drugs. My natural plan of action, my body's plan of action, would be full of disease, just kind of carnal. I'd be real bossy too, really bossy, really stubborn, really, really prideful. The pride would go to the moon, you know. I'm already prideful, but think how prideful I'd be if I wasn't trying to tone it down. And is that just a chain reaction? Like, this incarnation of molecules, or this random assortment of molecules decided to try. I don't know, decided, or this chain reaction of molecules is trying something new, is going against what looks like good survival tactics. This random collection of molecules is doing things that look on the outside like survivability is, the odds are less. You know, when you love your enemies, your odds are less. Your odds of surviving are less. Your odds of pissing off the group and getting ejected from the group are high. When you tell people things like, yeah, I mean, it is in the Bible that we're not supposed to focus on the bells and crisping pins. And yes, aesthetics are okay. I think aesthetics are fine. Having your wants, if everybody else around you has all their wants and we're just kind of like lavishly like soaking in wants, okay. Wants all the time. Gadgets and trinkets, sure. I mean, once we find out we're like severely damaging the planet with the factories that produce the gadgets and trinkets, maybe we should tone down a little bit, you know. But if there was a way to do all that crap and like have it be fine, like who cares? It's fine. It's just what we're doing. But when you say that stuff to people, but then it's like the focus, there's so much attention given to outward appearance, like how we look. If you think about it, in order to look cool, looking cool is like the goal. Looking cool is the goal of school, right? Figure out how to look cool. Oh my gosh. Case in point, the lifted truck, the lifted van. The lift provides no benefit. It provides lots of negatives. Functional wise. Lots of functional negatives, no functional benefit. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that, well, you could justify. It's like, yes, it's all for looks, but I mean, it has some functional benefit. Like, there's a lot of things we people do that have that, but the lift situation is not that. There is no functional benefit. That I asked lots of people, lots of mechanics, lots of car people, and the basic answer is there is no functional benefit. So what's the benefit? It just looks cool. Well, it looks really cool. Well, my van did look really cool. It looks really cool. I don't know why that looks so cool, having it be so non-functional, but it does look really cool. But we took the lift off because it shook and rattled above 60 miles an hour. And in Utah, the speed limit's 85. And also, it couldn't tow as much, and also had to have a special hitch, and also is getting worse gas mileage, and there's just all this stuff, and it's like, okay, well, let's just take the lift off then. It's going to be logically better. It doesn't look as cool, but to be seen of the world and have that be your major focus, that's very warned against in the Bible, because it just wastes your time. It's vain. It's empty. You're not taking it with you. You're storing up treasures and valuables where moth and dust do corrupt. My van will be corrupted. It's easily corruptible. It's already corrupting. My check engine light is on as we speak. It is corruptible. I am not putting all of my time and attention into making it look cool. I'm going to die. And then I had a really cool van, and like that's going to be on my headstone. A glass inlay of a picture of my van. To remind everybody of the travels and how cool my van was. Maybe we can like cut a piece off the van and like tack it onto the headstone like with a nail. But seriously, it's a car. It's moth and rust corrupted. I don't need to be focused. If I focus all my attention on looking cool and all these things, on my clothes, my van, everything, if I'm so cool, the whole world sees me cool and I die and I'm gone. It's like that was so super pointless. That's when you have a pointless life. That's when you're like, oh no. What was I doing with my time? What was I doing with my talents that I was given? My things. I think the word talent actually comes from the talents, because it's like we've used it to describe, they don't actually mean money. It's like your gifts and your skills. And so we kind of poached the word talent now means like your skills, you know. But, you know, what kind of skills? You have skill of like making things beautiful. Okay. But still store up other treasure where moth and rust don't corrupt. Also. And so I think that there's like, so when I say that stuff to my sisters, especially. I get a lot of negative feedback. They don't like that. They think that's not nice. They think it's contentious. It's like, oh, well, a lot of contention. It's like, it's not contentious, it's truth. And sorry, it cuts like a knife, but that's the nature of truth. And I don't mean it in a prideful way or a boasting way or an angry way at all. But the survivability aspect of that act, of me doing that, of calling my sisters out is worse. It's so scary because I could get ostracized from the group. And group rejection in nature, like what my body feels, death. Group rejection often means death in nature, right? So my body is highly attuned to not having this action happen. It gets a little shaky. It doesn't want me to do this. It has a strong negative push to have me not say that to my sister. But in love, I say it to her because love looks like chastisement sometimes. And so in love, I say it, even though my body's like, no, don't say it. You're going to get ostracized from the group. Group rejection. Stop right now. Do not say those things. Just let her be caring all day about her hair. Who cares? Well, I care, sister. I care. Don't worry. I'm pushing down my natural man. I will say the thing to you. But seriously, I think to me that indicates something going on here besides just a dead machine, chain reaction. I'm making a choice going against my body's natural reaction. It seems like the chain reaction would actually lead me to not do that. But I'm choosing. I have a free will, and it's a battle. And maybe that's an interesting little aspect of our existence here, and maybe that indicates and points to a creator, because that's an interesting thing that would be, if that's like the dichotomy between my spirit and my body, like just the contrast, and having to fight actively against my body lets me think that I, the spirit, the soul, the looker, the awareness, the conscious being, looking and seeing, and the actor, the doer, I am that thing. It's a different thing, and it's real, and it's there. It's choosing. And I think it's what's holding it all together. I think it's holding the whole construct together. It's holding the whole place together. All the things we think of as like molecules and stuff. Maybe it's just a bunching up or a collecting of consciousness. Like a dream or a nightmare, or whatever you want to see it. It could be anything you want it to be, couldn't it?